that's why he writes in. He has a very tiny little pen.
Yeah.
And he writes in like almost unintelligible letter. Like if me or you read it, we wouldn't even know. We wouldn't even be able to tell that it was Danish. It's so small. So then he can read his notes and he can read exactly what he's saying, and that's why he can use it to trash talk as well. And he can pass notes, but he's the only one who can read it, so he just passes it to himself.
You know what would be quite funny as well?
No.
So if it said far lig when we're kind of on like the wide shot, and then close lig when they go in for the zoom. Also, who the hell is Hank? Hello.
We'll never know.
My goodness. Players have got a secret unlockable sixth character on the server. Our man Hanky G out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Look at that. I was trying to find him. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Hank over there.
Yeah, no, I see it. It's behind the sponsorship logo. I see it now. What the hell's Hank doing?
He's gone now.
You goofball.
See you later, Hank.
I'll miss him.
Yeah, he was my favourite player.
Me too.
Dead now, though.
My favorite player's player is Hank.
Hobbit, he's doing some game playing in this round as he kills them. He's still going as well. 3 kills for Hobbit. He's a bit upset that Hank was taken away from him so swiftly, so he battles back with a strength of 2 men. And does find 3 frags into the round. Config comes sprinting up short. He's got the USP out, the road rash, but can he do something brash into this round? Close clear onto Zip. All on Config now in a 1v3. He's seen the player towards Goose. That'll be a tag. There's the headshot. All right. Maybe there's a potential that he can still pick up this round. He's going to take Inters down. All on Hobbit. Playing towards Platt. He peeks out. Dropped to 8 HP, Davey.
And he just can't peek. One more bullet will put him down. He taps it. He's trying to hide his head, but no, that's not going to be enough. He ran out of time, and Hobbit is the one to finish him off in the end. 4 kills for him, finds the opening, and then secures the clutch. And Config just didn't have a kit. He ran out of win conditions. Once that first peek from Hobbit came out, Config landed the tag. As soon as that wasn't the headshot, as soon as that didn't do enough damage to finish him, realistically, all Hobbit had to do was pretty much AFK, and he wins the round.
Hobbit had a great start into that as well. The kills he picked up towards long left Astralis in a really horrible spot. Now the buy will come back out for either side. So we've got the Galils to work with, the MAC-10, the AK, all the D-Galirs being pulled out here for Astralis as well. The Danish Deagles, but will they be singing a sweet song? Blame F, he's going to push up onto short early as well. And the T's are just walking out long.
They're just going to walk straight out. Now, the thing is, can Zipix channel his inner Nico right now? We saw earlier Nico from this position with the Deagle. Now, I will say, slightly unfair of me to compare Zipnix to Nico. Slightly unfair. I'm putting a lot of pressure on him right now. But from what we saw from Nico earlier, I have high expectations. As Farlig is here, and he wants to take a bit of the shine himself. Can these 2 Deagles inside of the site ring out? Can they find these kills? We're about to find out. Counter smoke comes in. It's good. Zipnix, he has the line. He sees the shadow. Does the damage. Nade drop's going to take out Hobbit. And that is the first one going the way of Astralis.
Oh, Far Lig, furious as ever as he comes sprinting out through the smoke. But Nathany, he replies back with the Galil. And they are in a 3 versus 4. Firepower advantage for the T's. But the CTs, they've got the battle of attrition. And they've definitely got the edge there. Oh, peek from Zip as well. Unzips onto the first man. Spam on the cross. And he's going to peek back out on this. Does get mauled by the Galil. And Config and Blame F work together to shut them down. So Astralis take the game 1-1.
And crucially, again, on that CT side, you have to buy those smokes for that A site. It is just the meta now. Teams don't even fight for long anymore. The change in middle has now meant that CTs can constantly put pressure in mid, put pressure lower, pressure off short, so they don't have to fight for long every single round where it's more of a coin flip. They give it up, and as long as you have those counter smokes for the site that you're able to drop when the Ts execute, it makes it almost impossible for them to scale up the ramp. You can see what happens. The change in the meta on this map is definitely interesting. I still think it's the worst map in the pool, but the meta change is interesting at the very least.
Weapons out for players. You've got the 1 scout on Shiro, and the rest of them just with the mixed bag of Deagles and Tech 9s. They've got utility as well. Oh, actually, Shiro doesn't have a gun at all.
You're so right.
See?
Oh my God.
He's just holding his hands up, David.
What is he doing? Look at him. He's just holding his hands out there.
There's nothing in his hands.
Is he gonna punch them? Is this danger zone?
I love the idea of everyone is just like, what are you talking about? He literally has a scout right there.
No, he doesn't.
There's nothing in his hands.
At least now he pulls out the smoke.
That's better than having nothing.
It's better than having nothing yet again. Here he goes. He just keeps
He's just got his thumb up.
What is going on?
Sheer shenanigans.
Oh,
all right. He's walked through the smoke with a Tech 9, but his feet are going to be seen. And BlameF stops it there. So no crazy play off the back of the Tech 9 close angle. Config with a spray, shuts down Hobbit as well. Glaive goes on to get 2 frags, and it's just Shiro, gunless.
Gunless Shiro. Can he throw bullets in their directions here? As he is going to peek out, and no, that's what happens when you don't have a gun. You peek around the corner, and a man with a gun's going to just win out on that. As Config from deep in middle closes out the round, and a clean round for them as well. All 5 players staying alive. The force buy from players just not working out.
That's my favorite bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, yeah, just facts. My bad. Just facts. I did like how we both perked up as well. The second he got through the smoke, it was like, oh, actually, hang on, play.
You missed him, and then just BlameF is just standing right on the other side. He's like, oh, look at this human.
Yeah, he's seen some feet. Doxed him, got the kill.
And it is just the Glocks now. Shiro did save that extra money by not buying the gun last round, so he's up to 29. Config finds the opening onto Nafany. Nade is out. Little bit of damage. Config wants more. He knows they have logs. And you know what happens? He gets sniffing. He smells the ecos. He pushes in. BlameF with the FAMAS from up on short. Does take down Shiro. It is Axile. 1v5, and this one's doable, Jack. He just needs to land the headshots. He's swinging out top middle. Finds the dink onto BlameF. Oh, and the winnable round from Axile not coming to fruition as Config finds the headshot.
So close there. Could have been an ace. Dangerously tight stuff with just the Glock. Oh, look at the coach reaction as well.
He realizes how much danger they were in that moment.
Notice how scary it could be.
And he's laughing it off. If he doesn't laugh, he'll cry.
Mm-hmm. But those are the formality rounds kind of out of the way now. And this is where the game should begin anew, as the actual buy will be pulled out for players. You've got the AWP on Shiro, everyone else with the rifles. And early on, a fight coming out towards long once more. This time around, Zip stationed towards the car. He's going to be holding it. He does back off. There's a whole crate of flashbangs goes off in front of him.
Yeah, and he does have to fall back. They do have 3 smokes now for this play, but you can see the reaction from Astralis, and this is just such good CS. As soon as the long take comes out, they push into upper B, they smoke off T-spawn, and now that's going to allow them to rotate heavily over to the A site. They already have 3 people here. Glaive is making his way over. Once Config picks up middle here in lower, now Glaive should be able to push up. Spamming the door. If he heard any sound cues, Config would have known there was a man behind it. And now this is just going to be the 4-man A stack as the nades are coming out. But players, they're not scaling yet. Config's pushed up, and he needs to get this timing right. If he goes too early, the flank is done.
Boost onto the site for Glaive. He's going to go up on short. The smokes come over, and Zip has the pin pulled on the HE. Glaive backing him up as well, so it's the double nade that falls in. Damage done. Clear onto the site, but it's a huge whiff from Hobbit.
Oh. Config got spotted on the flank as well, but he spotted out the CT, and the counter nades from Astralis. Absolutely perfect. 30 seconds left. Shiro now has to scale, has to try to do something. Config spams out Nafany. That's the kill going his way. And now, what can they do? And that is a good flick from Shiro, but it still might be too little too late. 2 versus 5 now. Inter's gonna plant the bomb. Are they gonna let him get it down? Just 4 HP on him. They drop into CT and he doesn't land the flick, but he is still alive. They swing and another miss. That's not gonna be it. It's gonna be all that she wrote. Inter's can't find anything. Shiro missing the flicks. And it is gonna be Astralis again, picking up another round here on the CT side.
Getting themselves an early lead on the CT side of Dust2. Seems like there has been a call for a pause as well. You can see the admin getting involved there. So now the coach giving his input to the players' roster.
Excuse me, Shiro. You are going to have to buy weapons on those rounds. You can't just not have a gun. You're not allowed to use your hands in Counter-Strike.
He's just like, what do you mean? What are you on about?
PGL admins have been alerted, and he's going to be spoken to about this.
Yeah. Now, look, we saw you just kind of holding your thumbs out with nothing in your hands. It was looking a bit worrying. The money disappeared. We don't know where that went, but you didn't have a gun.
This isn't danger zone. You can't do this.
No, if anything, it's just a bit silly.
And he is going to go for the hero AK buy now. The rest of the team, only the half investment. And because of how much they've invested in this, if they don't get the bomb down, I don't think Shiro's going to be able to bring out Nop next round. Well, obviously, he's not going to be able to buy one regardless, but someone on his team without the bomb plant could be a problem. But because they have enough for all the extra armor, Shiro just goes for the hero AK, and they can keep recycling it if they need to. They're hoping he's going to be able to find the openings, as they are leaning heavily over towards the B-bomb site. Molotov comes out to clear the right side, and the response from players is to just walk towards middle. They have all the utility for the short execute.
Blame F. He's waiting for push to come to shove so that he can strike back with the M4. Has the nade as well. He's going to dash that out, and that is a hefty one. About 120 damage distributed between the T's, and Farlig in a position to hit the head as well. Ooh, Nafany hits the frag onto Config. He's now grabbed his AK, but there's an instant trade back from Blame, and it all comes down to the 4v4. Axile gets the bomb plant off just as he takes a ton of damage from the HE, but this is not looking cozy at all.
No, the saving grace for players here is they do still have Shiro up inside of the site with the HP. I say that, the nade falls right on top of them, and the HEs from Astralis doing so much damage, and Shiro with the AK not able to find anything. It is just Farlig, Zip, and Blame F. They walk up, they land all the kills, and Astralis pick up their 5th. The HE damage there from Blame F and CT Spawn was absolutely massive.
The utility damage alone into that round basically won them it.
Yeah.
You know, the opening HE does like 120 damage. We see consistent utility damage coming in throughout the course of the round. One by one, it just meant they were all on like 5 HP. So a single bullet from the M4 takes them down. And Astralis, now, they've won 5 rounds on the spin after losing the opening round here against players. Config 10-2 as well.
Yeah, that last round, I thought he may have trolled it a little bit when he went running through that CT smoke and died. But in the end, Blame F was able to trade it back, drop all that HE damage, and it worked out perfectly fine for him. And they've built up quite a big bank now, too. It's going to be hard for players to actually reset the economy. They're going to have to win 3 or 4 gun rounds in a row before they push Astralis onto the save.
Glaive with a HE. Throws that one into upper tunnels. And slows down the T's somewhat. Trader smokes, and Farlig playing on the shocks angle with the AWP. Molotov exchanged as they turn the heat up on either sides of the angle.
Now they're making their way out middle. They have a ton of utility. The execute should be fine here with the mid to B play. You can see he's looking for another HE. There's the mid to B smoke. Molly behind it as well to cut the rotations. Blame F drops his Molly, but it is just a little bit late. There's already one man who's made it past it. That's Nafany. But look at the play from the T's. They're everywhere. They're just 1-1-1 across the whole map right now. Axile should find the push. Oh, Zip, he runs away. He doesn't go for the aggressive push. And it is just Glaive. He's by himself, and he is surrounded.
Oh, Hobbit on the peek out. He gets obliterated by that AK. And now the round is in fairly dastardly territory. Just 20 seconds left, and Glaive reveals himself towards the B site. The AWP scoped in, but Axile's in the back line. He spams his way through 2 of them, and it all goes down to Blame F, who can't stand to fight against Axile. Huge flank there. Massive shutdown into the round, and players finally get another one on the board. It looked dicey, though. That was not clean.
No, that late long play from Axile is what ends up saving them.
Even the cameraman's like, oh my God.
It's just crazy.
He's going to rush over there.
He has to. He absolutely has to. It's like he was worried too.
Yeah.
It's like he wasn't watching the flank. Nobody was.
He was watching mid.
Yeah. Tag, again, Dust2 moment. Ashiro tags Glaive down to just 30 HP. But again, the money for Astralis is so solid. They're able to buy into this one. Double ops as well, but he's going to pass that over to Glaive after the tag. So Config trades him out. He's like, this is fine. No problem, man. You can have it. Glaive, he is worried about the player on that right side, and rightfully so. Hobbit now, gonna smoke himself off. He's not gonna swing. He knows there could potentially be an op in this position. Flash is gonna come in again, and right now, Glaive doesn't know if Hobbit's left or not. So he can't hold the line because the smoke will cover any close peek, and he doesn't know if Hobbit's already crossed to the left side, and if he did, then he could potentially die. So he has to fall back. Good little trade of utility there in the B tunnels, and now the retake towards long comes out because of it. Again, Astralis, they don't have mid control. They weren't able to get control of upper B, so they have to rotate off, and that is a shot that Glaive probably should have hit.
Blame F with a Molotov prime towards the ramp. His steal is about to be tested here. As the T's are pushing up. 16 in the clip and 1 in the hole. Blame F, is he about to make some bodies turn cold? Dashes the Molotov. Hobbit, he tucks in behind Gandalf. There's a first pick towards middle as well, and here comes Zip. As he finds the header, Hobbit. Blame battles back against Inters as well. 8 HP on Anthony, not in a great spot to really punish against this. Farlig's low as well, he's just on 15. Axile makes his move up onto the bomb site, and here's the backstab on long once again.
No!
Awkward spray, he goes down, it's all on Shiro, he misses the flick. 1v2, the USP will finish him. How on earth has this happened?
Farlig, I think, hit the jumping no-scope on the site at the exact moment that Nafany completely fluffs his flank. He had the perfect play. It was the huge moment, the perfect kill right there. Look at that. Oh, that's just tragedy. He barely even hit him. I think 1 bullet. And Zip can't believe his luck when he spins around. And I'm pretty sure Farlig inside of the site there hit the jumping no-scope from CT.
What is going on in this matchup? Astralis have heard everything everyone's been saying about their Dust2, and they've said, you know what? We are going to come out full swing, full confidence. And players, they're giving them opportunities into these rounds that never should happen, Davey.
No, never. And one thing we do have to say is that this is the CT side of Dust2, and it is still early in the half. But the one thing that is working for Astralis is this bank that they've built up. They've had to eat into it a little bit, but even if they lose 1, they're not reset, right? And that's what's huge. And now, Nafany, he's up short, and he's not going to... Oh, look at that. That's just a free kill. Farlig, not aware of it, not looking towards short. 3 teammates towards middle, and this is just going to have to be the save for Astralis as players pick up their third, and they need to hold on to these guns. I know they have decent bank. I've been saying it. You know, they have the money, but you still don't want to be throwing things away for free. Oh.
Players, they want this round and they want to stop the potential save from Astralis if they can. So the rotate's coming around. It looked like there was going to be a fight towards upper tunnels, but Glaive doesn't overcommit. He's got the smoke, so if there is any contact, he can drop that and at least try and burn the additional time off the clock to make sure they save their weapons. Config's watching CT as well. They're taking a couple of taps out, trying to bait the T's to peak. But it does seem like they'll get through the round with a free weapon save, the free kits, and the utility. So they can buy back up around that save.
And they do get the double ops out again. Just that little bit of money being held on to from Glaive and Zip. Farlig, of course, down to just the 100 as he did have to buy into that double op. Molotov towards top middle. Shiro goes in, doesn't land the tag, but he wants more, and he's just missing his shots today. So far in this Dust2 game, Shiro uncharacteristically missing some kills that you would expect him to get. The re-peek from Config as well doesn't actually spot him as he's walking up short. Suspects there might be a player close to the door. The flash is in. It is going to full blind him. He knows where he is, and he tucks away, and he's coming forward. He wants more. He's in the open, lands the tag onto Axile, but that's all he's going to find.
Nafany waiting for the rotate, takes so much damage on the face, but still gets the frag on Config. A critical kill to secure. And Glaive, can he secure the defense at the B site? Says goodnight to Axile. Oh, shot through the smoke as well, as Hobbit is now headless.
Just not a great play from players there. When the player decides to commit through the smoke, I don't remember who it was the low man though, and he decides to jump through the smoke to try to bait for you to come in and get the trade, and nobody committed off the back of it. Shiro had the op, so he didn't want to go through. And it was just, they got smoked off. They knew they had a timing in B where there was just one man there. But even still, it was just a bad commit. Because the player who was out middle, Nafany, after he gets the kill onto config, he doesn't have a smoke for CT. So he can't scale mid to B. So you're trying to just run out upper B through a smoke. With that much time left, it's just a little unnecessary. It's cost them the round. Astralis are going to pick up their 7th. 4 players alive means that, that they get to keep that as much money as possible in this situation. And Shiro again, he's just not on it in this Dust2 game. He's going for these flicks, and he just hasn't been able to find. He's missed a lot of shots. Honestly. It's a surprising amount of shots have been missed.
Yeah. And you can't afford to have him slowing down. After getting the upset win on Ancient, a map that we know Astralis can be so dominant on, you're coming into Dust2, where Astralis haven't won a game here in quite some time. And now it looks like maybe they actually have a chance, because some of the names that need to step up for players, they've cooled off. They've lost the heat that they had. I do like the fact they're going to take a tactical pause, though, at least.
Yeah, it's a good time to take attack. This is their second one of the game. They're down 7-3, but they still are able to get the buyout. It's not the end of the world. You pick up, even for them at this point, you're like, all right, even if we get 2 more, 10-5, and then we go to the CT side and we win that pistol, we potentially make it 10-8. It's a close game. The map's CT-sided. The game is CT-sided. Like, we're fine. They're not in panic mode yet. The way they've lost some of these rounds is not ideal, but yeah, they're definitely, they're not quite panicking yet. This game is still close. Damage towards top middle as well. BlameF goes aggressive. Finds the tag onto Nafany. Down to 48 HP. The counter nade for the mid rush is out, but nobody's there. And what is this? Hobbit! He's going to get a free kill onto Zip. He's caught out of position on the ramp.
Hobbit hits the back of Zip. And there's a hold towards upper tunnels as well, but it seems like a bold peek from Far Lig that he will be able to flick onto. That's 2 kills on the AWP now, going back for even more. He wants to mop them up like a spilt drink, but they recoil round the corner. Meanwhile, Nafany, he's fighting at middle, and there's an awkward 1-for-1 trade where Far Lig still continues on his AWP tirade. He's had 3 kills into the round, and it's all on Inters in the 1v3. Minute on the clock, he's back up towards top middle.
And he was spotted by Glaive as well, so that Molotov will be dropped, and Glaive now is going to rotate over, gets spotted again. The jump spot from Glaive, just getting all the information as Inters is going forward, and now Glaive is pushed forward, but Inters actually wins out on that. Only tagged once. What's going to happen? It's going to be Farlig from mid, through the door, lands the headshot. 4 on the round for him, shutting down the long play, and then rotating all the way over to mid to finish it off.
Farlig and Furious, Dust2 drift.
As players immediately going to take their 3rd tack. They're using these up early. They are going to be on the half buy here. And this was their map pick, and what a weird game.
Yeah. What a very weird game of CS we've been having here on Dust2. These rounds have been so unpredictable. And a lot of it's just been down to individual skill ceiling, really.
Yeah. A lot of aggression and weird timings and just freaky stuff.
It's also odd that, obviously, the point in the series now where Shiro goes on snooze, Farlig has completely woken up.
Yeah.
Short fight. BlameF.
Okay.
Goes down to Hobbit. Tech9's going to get that kill. Glaive. He tries to lock it down, but the 1-for-1 trades are coming in all across the place. And that is actually 2 kills now for Axile into the round. So the CTs don't have much to work with. Just Zipex and Farlig left alive. And they might just have to save this, really.
Yeah, the hero AK from Axile just coming up massive. Gets 2 entries on the B site. First one he finds is config towards back plat. Just one taps him as he swings. It's just like, well, all right then. Immediately gets the trade on Glaive. You're just like, well, okay. B site taken. Players of all the rounds to win, that's the one. They pick up their 4th. Astralis now forced to save this. The 3 kills from the previous round means, again, that, you know, like I was saying, they do have money to buy when they lose, but they not for much longer.
Yeah.
Not for much longer. These guns are going to need to be dropped. Config's going to need to drop. Glaive is going to need to drop. You see they're at 48 and 44. So Zip and Farleague are going to be able to pass the guns over. They'll keep some money in the bank again, but if they lose the next one, they're just going to be broke.
Okay, so Shiro's pulling the AWP back out once more as well.
Yeah.
I hope we get to see some impact from him on it. For his own sake and for players as well. If he can wake up again, it could change the tide of the game. He does go for the early boost towards mid, but not going to find any tag or kill there.
No. Nothing found. And that's the thing about oppers, man. You have to be kind of a weirdo to be an opper, because you have to have rounds where you miss a shot or you should have got a kill and your team loses the round, and then you still have to be willing to be like, okay, but give me the op again. Let's go.
Do it again.
You know?
Yeah,
exactly. You have to be just a little ill to be an opper. Just a bit of a weirdo.
That's why they're a dying breed in the game at the minute, and it's a shame to see. Shout out to AWPers everywhere.
They're like goalkeepers in football, you know? You have to, so much pressure on you, you have to be just totally okay with accepting all the pressure. As right now, Astralis not wanting to accept this pressure up short as the T's, they're scaling into sight, but it's one of those situations where they just have to accept it. They've played heavy in CT spawn, they've left 1 man over towards long, that's Zip, and the 4-man retake in CT, and Shiro's got to be worried about getting nade stacked here. At least got to be crossing his mind. This time it's not going to come out. It's just a 5-on-5 retake.
Oh, nade off the wall, lots of damage done. Nafany spamming through the smoke, hits the head of Config and takes him down. Glaive, he's able to find a frag back at the very least, and Inter's just lining up all the tasty treats until Blame F hits 1. And that's all they get, 2 kills against players into the round, so they're 14th. Now, with an 8-5 split, Astralis with a slight edge, but the money running dry.
That smoke that was on the CT ramp, that was thrown by Astralis. And all it did was help players. I wonder if that was supposed to land higher up the ramp, because it landed almost on the top of the ramp, but it was still on the incline. Whereas if it landed all the way at the top, then they could have scaled through it and fought long in ramp without having to worry about being shot in the back. But because it didn't go high enough, they just did get shot from elbow the whole time. So I think maybe it was a missed smoke. It just didn't go high enough. That's my hypothesis anyways.
Okay, so players really wanting to get a grasp on the 14th round here, up against just the pistols, are doing a good job. Blame F will be able to at least keep Nafany at a barge pole's distance, but Hobbit wins out with 2 kills on short. Shiro goes running into middle. Blame F's out of ammo, and Hobbit gets the hat trick, taking the game 8-6.
And unlucky for Shiro, he found 2 kills in that round, but right at the end we get to watch him miss again.
Yeah.
It's just the way she goes sometimes, bud. It's just the way she goes.
It's just unlucky.
But at least they pick up the round. So now players on their map pick finally starting to string some together here on the T side. The score is 8-6. If players make this 8-7, that is considering where they were and the pressure they were under by Astralis, that is a massive round. There's a massive score line for them. Nafany dropping the Molotov to clear out close middle. Axile spotted the push. You can see he's calmed it over. Very calmly, though. Just like, yeah, 1 close long.
Upper control being taken by Glaive. Nades pulled towards long. Player in the pit, 1 towards plat. And they're actually just pushing out on upper. They do flash clear on short, but so much map control has been taken by the CT, so they're ready for this aggression out on long. Nade's going to be exchanged. Axar looking for the head. Zip's burning alive, so he backs up towards the bottom of the pit and can't quite help out his teammate. Config is flanking, and Blame F, he opens it up. Axar gets 2 and completely capitalizes on the round. Missed shot from Farleague, you gotta hit that!
And again, players, it's Axile going aggressive up long. The flank is here, though. Config can still ruin the party, but that one Shiro won't miss. The 180-degree flick landing onto Config, and this should be the 7th round for players. Glaive is going to go down as well as Inters is lurking top mid. So that is going to be 7 players. They clawed it back. They brought it as close as they could. 8-7 half now when they go into their CT side, and that ends up being a great half for them.
Damn. Wow. Okay. Tremendous half there. Lot of crazy rounds down to individual performance time and time again. Some rounds that swung on a dime. Some missed shots and some crazy hits from either team. So an 8-7 half here in this best of 3. It's the 2nd map in the series. Ancient was picked up 16-13 by players. Dust2 is their map pick. If they can win it here, they stamp their ticket to the PGL Major in Antwerp. If Astralis win, we go to Inferno and we'll have a fresh 30 rounds to decide which team goes to the Major and which team has to battle back here in the RMR. Shiro battling towards middle with the P2K. Pops the brain of Farlig. Doubles back, looking for more. Slain on the stairs as Config wins out with a Glock.
And the flank on short, it was spotted, so they're going to turn, and Config hits those 180 degrees. They spin, they're finding him, and he is going to drop. Hobbit in lower, though. He's answering back. He's ringing out these shots. He lands one, and they're all about to swing him at once. The 3-man swing, and they are going to go into B. But Axile, he's here in CT. Oh, it's getting close, but no, Astralis. They pick up the 2nd half pistol on their T side. They start off the half, finally shutting down that round streak that players was on.
You needed the pistol. Config absolutely whips them into shape with his Glock. And players looking a little bit frustrated. Whereas Astralis, they're coming alive. The classic buy, though, from the CTs. You get the Scout on Axile. Everyone else with a 5.7s and a CZs. 1 Deagle thrown in for good measure as well. And Farlig, he's got a Scout of his own. He's looking for that opening tag towards middle. Who's going to be able to have some impact on the bolt action?
Oh, Nafany trying to push into long, but there is a man there waiting. He says, no, no, no. You cannot do that. Nade, actually, that was so good from Glaive. He heard the nade bounce and immediately dropped off the box so he didn't take any damage. That's quick thinking right there.
Slow round from Astralis, and this is 17th. Just under a minute on the clock. As they are grouping up with 4 players on short. Blame F holding towards upper tons. Bit of a stack over towards Goose, 4 players. It's a 2-player setup so they can bait for one another, but a utility is being thrown out. And Glaive's going to go on a hero mission, just runs in, looking like a kamikaze to see if he can find some frags with this Mac 10.
Scouts posted on the cross, and there's 2 in Goose as well. Bomb going A here is going to be a problem. Nafany swings. Now, that might have been a little bit too obvious. Hello, Farlig, with the Glock. Headshot found. The Deagle from Shiro needs to find one more. It can't. Farlig again with the Glock. Gets his 2nd of the round. 3rd of the round, even. He's got all 3. And Blame F finds Inters in middle. And players, they had a good bait setup. They had a good play, but it just didn't pay off. I think that the swing from Goose was just a little too obvious of a bait. They're like, why would the Goose player do this? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
God damn. The kill through the smoke, though, with the Glock.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's a double gush.
Yeah, that was a crazy frag. And now, in the grand scheme of the game, Astralis is going to be leading 10-7.
Look at the scoreboard for Astralis. 12-8, 12-8, 12-8, 12-8.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've seen that. Now, of course, Blame F ruins it, but we got to experience it before
Just
we did.
for a second.
Yeah.
Got to enjoy it.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, that's pretty cool.
4 people with the just exact same score.
The mirror matchup.
Like, this late into a game, too. Like, yeah, maybe after, like, 2 rounds or something, but not.
Oh, and it was the Glock burst as well. Farlig.
You love a Glock burst.
Looking like a real gangster. I do, man. You got to hit him with the triple bullet now and then. Show him who's boss.
So it is going to be the eco now for players. Nafany has some flashes. He bought a smoke as well, I think, at the beginning of that one. Threw it for the cross so they don't get the information. So it is going to be the short stack. Now with these two flashes, they're going to want to all group up and have Nafany just flash as they cross and hope they can swing out and find just any amount of kills.
Nade pulled. Dashed out. Little bit of damage done, but they're on a bomb site, and they want to blow them out of it. Config hitting heads. Splits them open with a blunt force trauma. Blamer going to get one off onto Hobbit as well. Zip comes into the round and shines against Shiro. Diving through the smoke. Nafany takes one, and Config, his eyes just filled with rage, kills his teammate there to make sure they shut the game down, as they will pick up that round.
That ends up being 2 deaths for Astralis too, because he got one before he died, and then Config killed his teammate. So that's 2 rebuys. That actually could have a that actually could be significant, because Zip is down to 200 now. Farlig 1850, Glaive at 2K. If they lose this, they can't buy next round. Only BlameF and Config would be able to buy. The score is 11-7. The jiggle peek here from Nafany, and he's baiting for the player close middle, but it's not going to be enough. It's perfect. They go running out mid with just their nades, and Hobbit gets 2. Zip eventually trades him, but still, Astralis running out mid. They don't clear close right.
Hobbit, the hatchet, was there. Cuts down Config and Glaive. And Astralis, they've got to dial back the tempo now. Slow down the round, being a disadvantage. Minute and 15 on the clock. Farlig with the AWP in the back pocket, playing around Zip and BlameF as they take short control. Shiro, he's stationed towards the car, but can he bonnet them when they come running up into his domain?
That is the big question. We were talking about he hasn't had a great game so far today on Dust2. The slurk smokes come out, flashes to push him off, more flashes. Yeah, he has to fall all the way back now. He's not going to be able to take the fight towards site. He has to give up the plant. It's just the way it is. Good utility usage from Astralis. And now, actually, Farlig going aggressive. He jumps up, and he's able to find the kill. Lots of damage done onto Blame, as it is answered back, but now it's the 1 versus 2, and it's just Zip in the site.
Oh, so much damage done onto Inters, but he wins out against Zip there. He wanted to put his crown back on his head and be the clutch king, but instead it will be around 4 players as they pick that up. Getting vocal now as well, getting animated. Hobbit, he had so much impact towards middle. The fact he got away with both of those frags. The jump spot from Nafany as well. It looked like that was going to be a tasty little double for him.
Whew, that would have been
very
tasty. And now, they did get the bomb down, which helps them out a little bit. So Config and Blame can get the hero AKs while everyone else saves. But even still, it's only 1,900 bonus for this next round. Like right now, they just got 14. It's only 1,900 for next round, so they've invested a lot into this. Because at only 1,900, your buy's not even going to be good in the next one, and they just want to pop into B. Inters does get caught, but his teammate's there. Nafany is there to make sure he gets the first frag onto Config, and the jump is perfect. Glaive jumps around the corner, and that is how you entry into a site.
That's how you lock down a B site as well, though. As Nafany, he takes a stab in the dark through the window. Zip, he's able to spray back. Farlig with a furious tap onto the head of Hobbit as well. And Shiro is slain, all on Axile in the 1v3 to do something insane with the M4. Jumps up towards the window, looking to stab them in the back. They're going to turn their attention to him. They know exactly where he is. He grabs the AWP, posted on the angle. Is he poised to punish against Farlig? No, he walks in, sprays with the AK, grabs the AWP back for himself, and takes the 12th round by force for Astralis.
And players there, I don't even mind when you're going for that retake if you just throw bodies at the site. It's not bad, but you do need to go in with the flashes. When the rotations are coming in, you need to be throwing those flashes over the wall and just sending people into the site. But they need to be doing it together. You need players going through the door smoke, players going through window. You can't have just one man, one by one, walking through the window and hoping that it works. And most of the time, it's not going to. Throwing bodies at a retake isn't a problem. Just the way they did it was just not great. That is the issue. So now they take their final tack pause. That was it. It's done. They have no more left. They've used them all early. They're down 12-8. They are going to go for the save here. The 24 bonus means that they're going to be able to buy up into the next one if they do save. So it is just the eco. Nafany has the light armor. Same with Axile. Some Deeks being brought out. And the aggression towards upper B. Nafany actually finds Config. The nade is going to be big. BlameF should be able to clean up as he gets the triple spray with the M4. And Shiro is tucked away behind the car. Can he do something amazing? Can he give them the miracle that they need? He can't land the second Deagle shot. Zip gets away with it.
Little bit of damage, but no major impact. And Hobbit, that is a big impact as the bullet shatters him coming out of the barrel of Glaive's gun. And Astralis gunning full match point now. 13 secured on the T side of Dust2. Players only with 8 in the bank. Money in the bank, though, as the guns will be coming back out. Shiro's on the AWP. The rest of them rocking with the M4s. Not a kit in sight, though.
No, not a kit in sight. They don't have that money. They make sure they get all the utility. They're doing a late long control, and the question is, are they actually going to commit to this? They're all just sort of standing in no man's land. There's the counter flash. It's perfect. It does full blind him. Axile gets across, and they don't know. BlameF didn't see him, so that is the opening pick going the way of players. Now Config tries to respond. He wants to lurk out middle, but he's just not sure. They don't have enough information.
The rotate's coming in. Hobbit, he has been hugely impactful for players towards middle. This time, though, there's two of them going out together. Flash over the top to hold them back. That's from his teammate in window. He's got the HE, does drop it. Damage exchanged. A lot more damage done to the CTs, though. The Danes, they are in a dangerous position here. They double molly CT. Hobbit just spams his way through the smoke. There's the third Molotov. He's got all the information in the world, but they're pushing up onto B. Inters behind the back of the car. Can he hit his shot? He's dinked. He's tagged, but he frags onto the head of Glaive. Farlig trades back. Farlig falls. There's the peek into the side from Config, but he has to go back for the bomb.
And that is the main problem. There is still that lurk towards top middle. It's going to be Zip finding the kill on Axile. Now they know Config's isolated. They know he's by himself, and he just swings out across the scaffolding, and he drops, and there's the shot from Shiro. So players pick up their 9th, and Config, I'm not really sure what happened with him there. He just sort of jumped off the scaffolding and died to the CT guys. Maybe he thought the smoke was still up? I don't know.
He just kind of peeked.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like a peek to fight.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't peeking out thinking, oh, I'm going to shoot the guy CT. He was just like, I'm going to get the bomb now. It's like, well, you can't, can you?
Quite far away,
Yeah,
actually,
it's pretty far, and there's like opponents there who want to stop you from doing it. I think he must have thought the CT smoke was still up because he didn't peek out.
Potentially, yeah. It's the only thing that kind of would have made sense, more so of why he went for it.
Yeah, it's literally the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so Dust2 still raging on here. No real clear-cut winner in sight. Players, they're looking like they could make this comeback happen.
Oh yeah, they're on the CT side of their map pick.
They're hitting their shots as well. Especially if Shiro starts finding lots of impact with that AWP, man. Things could change quickly.
Yep, absolutely. And there's lots of things for you to do on CT side with the AWP as well. On Dust2, you know? There's just a whole bunch you can do. Config has the scout. Is actually really good with the weapon. Glavy's like, I was going to waste my smoke by putting that out just to scare them. And then he's like, actually, this smoke is probably more useful elsewhere. As Zip... did that nade just not do any damage to him? It put him down to just 12. Oh, and look at the aggression from Axile. What a play. As soon as he hears Zip walk away, and that's going to be the free kill. Second one towards top mid. Does get tagged by the scout, but it commits to the spray. 67 damage onto Config, but the kill going the way of the Dane. So Astralis now, 4 versus 4. They answer back. There is an AK down to his left if he wants it.
Four versus 4. T's just holding to see if there is any re-aggression from players. For them, they've run dry. Apart from the 2 nades, the 1 smoke, and the flashbang. Inters has the kit. And it could come in handy. Time going down to the wire as well. 40 seconds on the clock as they walk back out towards middle. But the CTs are grouping up with a two-man setup on B. So 2 towards the site. Shiro watching short with the AWP.
Yeah, they're just going for the 2-2. And the question is, it is going to be the short play. Okay. They have the utility for it, but only one flash is actually a problem because you're not going to be able to force Shiro off twice, right? There's like 3 angles you need to push him off of. With only one flash, they're not going to be able to. He's going to cross the ramp, and that's a bold call, but he wants to take this fight early. Molotov is going to land behind him, and now they're here. They're crossing. He lands the first. Can he get any more? He's still tucked away on the ramp. There is one lurk towards middle. That's Blame. He finds the kill. Now they're rotating in. Hobbit's here at long. It's him and Shiro. They need to come up massive. Hobbit with the headshot, but who wins out inside of the site?
Glaive looking for the fight towards ramp. Shiro switches off the AWP. He starts to back up to try and get a better line of sight to do some damage. Sees the head, fires off the warning shot, grabs the AK, but he's left for dead as Glaive hits it. And it's all on Inters in the 1v2. He's got the kit. He's pushing up towards the ramp. The angle's being covered as Glaive gats him in the back. And they get it. So focused, so invested into the game now as they keep it tight on Dust2.
And the ultimate battle in that round came down to Shiro versus Glaive inside of the A site. The winner was going to be the one who won the round for their team. If Shiro picked that one up, there was just going to be no way for the last remaining T on, as Blame F on short to win that round. He didn't have the utility. Op would have been posted on him. Astralis, they go to 14. If they win this map, that would be a massive upset, and we would be going to map 3 of Inferno.
Four FAMASes and 1 scout. That's what the cavalry have got here for players. That's what the buy is looking like. And Axile, he might be burnt alive. Problem is, the Molotov won't spread onto him.
No.
He can stay tucked in.
And will they clear it? That's the ultimate question. Axile, if he just tucks, trigger discipline. Oh, he wishes he had an M4 right now. The swing out, there it is, the counter flash. It's actually Hobbit who finds it. He still has the smoke to keep himself alive as well. Farlig is going to answer onto Shiro, but the flank is already coming.
Axile, wanted to do more damage on the FAMAS. But instead, it's Nathany in the back, sprays onto Blame F, leaves it down to Glaive and Farlig.
Oh, he sees him. Oh, he doesn't get it, though. He doesn't land the shot. He shoots just a little bit too early, doesn't find the damage. And now Astralis with 40 seconds, they're worried. They want to fall back. Glaive is clearing the flank, and he realized there's nobody here. Players is committed to A, and Glaive could just run it all the way down through middle and cut these rotations.
The smoke's keeping players so heavily focused here on the A site. Glaive set up for the rotation. The bomb's been picked up, but they're starting to catch whiff that maybe something's run amok. The Molotov towards short will give up the goose. Has he seen a head of Glaive? Doesn't seem like it. Drops down, and that's the trade. Opening pick back in favor of Astralis. 10 seconds, but they're isolated. If they can kill the bomb planter, that might be a round dead and gone. They take him down. 4 seconds left. Glaive, he can't win the round.
No, that's it. He's done. He can't get in. Now, can he just survive? He's going to run out of time, and he is going to make it. They are just going to grab the op. And Farlig, I got to point out, just a mistake from him there to even go for that bomb plant. You know they're going to run at you. You know that they know you're by yourself. He has to make the play running into the site. It's exactly what he does. He sprints through the window. If Farlig had just recognized what the CT's win condition was, potentially gives himself a chance to land that shot on the player closing down on him. Instead, he tries to tap the bomb, and he ends up going down. And I thought Glaive had the round-winning play when he was lurked out middle, but he doesn't.
It looked like it. It looked like they had found the fix to a very messy round and been able to piece it back together. Players made themselves famous with those FAMASes, though. Huge sprays, great positions. In the end, it goes down to the dicey plant on the B site, and players, they've got the game so close, Davey. This one is incredibly back and forth here in the second map in the best of 3.
And it all started with a missed Molotov. It just didn't spread. They Molotov the car. It doesn't spread to the corner. When you throw that Molotov that lands on the car, there is always the chance that it doesn't spread to the corner. You have to clear it. The Molotov, it clears out anybody playing behind the car, which is great to know, but you still have to clear that corner. There's never a 100% guarantee that it does spread. They don't clear it. They end up losing, And if that is the reason, if that's the catalyst for players to make this comeback, that would just be unbelievably tragic for Astralis. As now, we're back into this round. Glaive has the hero AK. He's already tagged down to 13 HP. He's inside of the pit. And what is going to happen here? They're all set up. Counter smoke is ready, close tunnels. But he's by himself. There's 4 CTs over at A, and the bomb is sitting outside of B tons.
th round of the game. A very important round for Astralis and players is commencing. But I'm going to be dropped back onto Far League, and they're wrapping back round. Seems like they're going to be setting their focus to group up and potentially make a play out onto the A site. Glaive, he's still in pit. Dangerously low though. 13 HP. A single tag could eliminate him. And Shiro, he's on the site with the AWP. Short control has been established by Astralis as well.
And there's Hobbit actually finding the pick onto Glaive. That's the AK down, and that smoke from Config. That must have been a miss smoke. Axile's here. He's close on short. The jump out. The triple FAMAS spray down, and that is all she wrote. All 5 players staying alive. 14-11 now. They're starting to build up this economy. And Astralis, man, they're in trouble.
Yeah, it's getting dangerous now. This game has been so back and forth. And in rounds like this, it's when it matters most. 1 away from match point. 2 away from taking the second map at Dust2, pushing us to Inferno and giving us a level playing field for both of these teams to make it to the PGL Major in Antwerp. For players, they're going to want to pick up the pieces, bring the game to 12-14 and take it round by round on their CT side. Shiro has the AWP towards middle. Flash to hold him back. He's looking for that opening pick.
And there's no op for the T side. It is just the scout on Far League. Zywoo smoke coming out. It's going to land on the hinge, which just means that, you know, sometimes if the T throws the smoke from close on the door. Oh, did he miss it? He missed it. See? That's the risk. See? Okay, I've seen players miss that with the scout. Now, I'm not saying that the scope is different. All I'm saying is I don't see players miss it with the op. But when someone has, and I don't mean players the team, I just mean players in general.
In general.
Yeah, that's a team name.
Branding.
But yeah, but when someone has a scout and they do it, I've seen it miss. So I don't know if there's like a difference between the 2 scopes. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying it's anecdotal evidence.
Something to keep an eye on. Players, they need to keep an eye on short. And Hobbit, he's got the Molotov primed and ready. He'll dash out a fiery delight if the push comes out. Molotov's exchange. One going to land on the bomb site as well. He sees the head of Glaive, but Glaive gushes him down. And mid-control is being taken. Astralis swarming their way out into the B site. Molotov going to be thrown towards upper tons. Zip gets the shot into the back of Inters. Oh, no! Nathany! He flicks off thinking he had got the kill. It all gets a bit messy. Config takes him down, and there's only 2 CTs left alive. Astralis, they've got match point in the palm of their hand.
Just a comedy of errors from players right there. First, the missed shot towards A allows just the opening pick goes the way of Glaive. Then there on the B hold, the player playing close tunnels. When the B split's coming out and your window player spots it, he's mollying tunnels for you. Why are you swinging and fighting in tunnels? Hold the doors. That is what you have to look at now. Yeah, I know you're in a bad spot. Sucks. You still have to hold the door now. You have the crossfire. Just, honest, just, ugh.
Weird round. Weird round, man.
Not good.
No, not at all. And that's scary, because now for players, if your win condition was you want to shut this down in 2 maps and go to the PGL Major off the back of besting Astralis here in a best of 3s, well, then you might just have to wait and do it on Inferno, because Astralis, they've got match point. 4 rounds of buffer to make mistakes here. And all they need is 1 round to close it down and split the series 1-1.
And this was not expected. We did expect in the pregame, we did expect map 3, but we didn't expect Astralis losing Ancient and players losing Dust2. That's not what we expected.
We didn't think it would be the trade of map picks. We thought it would be each team winning their respective pick and pushing us to Inferno because of that. This is a bit of a different story. Into the 27th round, though, the first play is Axile finding an initial frag against Zipex. And the T's, they begin to group up back towards long.
Yep, and there's the Molotov again. That one will spread to the corner. They can see it. Immediately smoked off by the player inside of sight. Now that's crucial because they keep dropping that smoke. Now that means Astralis has to keep using Molotovs to clear that out. Once the smoke fades, they have to throw another one, and then, you know, blah, 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 blah. Instead, they're not even going to bother with that. They're going to run over to B, and the only player there holding it down right now is Nafany at the top of the lower stairs.
Nafany needs to do something naughty with this M4 and silence the aggression from the T's. He's posted up on the angle. He's ready to deal the damage. They don't clear it. They walk in. They give him the frag. And he does a lot of damage as well. Config brought down to just 9 HP. They cancel it. They wanted to hard commit, but they call it quits instead, making their play up short. But Hobbit on a drive-by gats down Glaive. And Config's got 9 health. He's all the way back up towards T-spawn. There's 20 seconds on the clock. And players, they're licking their lips at the prospect of a 12th.
And it is going to be the 12th. Astralis can't get in. They're not going to be able to push forward. This has to be the save. And Config, he's outside of B with just 9 HP. Oh, if they go for him after time here, Jack, he might drop. That could be absolutely massive. They're not going to go for it. He's going to be able to stay alive. Doesn't have a problem. He's fine. Farlig outside of B, holds onto his gun, holds onto his nades. Config's going to be able to drop one. And will they force into it? Because they've just given up 12. If you force into this one, right, off the back of the 2 saved weapons, you force into it. If you lose it, then you give up 13, which is fine because you can eco on 13 and play for the last round. So that's exactly what they do. They force into it. 2 Galils being brought out on Zip and Glaive. Farlig relegated to just the Tech 9, saving that little bit of extra money just in case to make sure you can get that op into the very last round of the game if it gets to that point. As players, now, they find themselves back in control. Nafany took a little bit of damage there, but he's fine. He's at 56 HP. That was the early round damage. As they're just walking around in B tunnels, all 5 grouping up. Players is set up for this, but we saw they were set up for this before, and it didn't go so well for him. So Astralis hoping similar things are going to go down, as it looks like it is going to be the just classic 3-2 split on the mid B. Oh no, they're actually going to go and take short control, or fake short control at the very least. Send Glaive up there to lurk.
And this will raise an eyebrow for players. Big HE goes in towards upper tons as well. If that would have been a second later, it could have inflicted so much damage. And now they're executing out. Flashes go over the top. Shiro, he's in a window. But can he punish with a scope? Finds the first frag onto BlameF. Peeks out, near miss onto the back line there. Drops the Molotov. His teammate's close by. Config looks like he wants to push aggressively on this one, but he jumps up towards the window. Oh, is he going to peek on it? It's being held by Hobbit. They're looking for the tap. Big tag onto him. He's down to just 60 HP. 4 versus 3 on a retake. Players have the advantage, but it's never easy bombarding your way back into the B site. Smoke through the door, and they're holding. They're starting to walk their way in. Upper Tons is being watched. Farlig behind the box, ready for the frag. Zip peeks out, shuts down Nafany. They need to get the trades, and they're not coming in. It's not looking good as Astralis gets 16 rounds. They trade map picks. We go 1-1, and that means Inferno is where one of these teams will stamp their ticket to the PGL Major in Antwerp.
And that is not what we saw coming. That was just not expected.